Hey everyone. So I want to welcome you to my channel. Today we're going to be diving into one of the most important topics out there, especially for blacks in the United States. And this topic is a very sensitive topic, but it's a very important topic. And this topic deals with the number one killer of black people out there. And the number one killer is abortion. And that's by far. I'm gonna give y'all some stats that should spark your interest and at least prick something in your hearts to think about this important issue and not just push it to the wayside. So I have some notes here. I'm sitting in this parking lot, but the current black population of the United States is 49 million. Okay, 49 million. We've essentially stayed the same at around 13% for like 50 years. And a big cause of this is abortion. There are about 1,000 black babies aborted every day. And this is potential black life. You know, some people actually call it black life. I actually do, but I'm taking a middle ground here and saying this is potential black life. We have the highest abortion rates among any ethnic group in our country. We exceed everybody. Actually, we exceed a lot of these other racial demographics combined. For example, the abortion rate for black women has been 4 times the abortion rate for white women for several decades. Black women only make up 13% of the population, but they're responsible for 40% of the reported abortions. So for example, right, in Pennsylvania, black abortions accounted for 36 times as many losses as homicides. 36 times. So essentially 1 year of abortions equals 36 years of homicides in the black community. So another one, right? A few years back in New York City, 50% of all black pregnancies resulted in an abortion. 50%. That's half. So that's a coin flip. So if a black woman or girl, whatever, if she got pregnant, there was a coin flip chance that she was going to have an abortion. These numbers are astronomical. So in some states, right, like Mississippi, black women make up 79% of all abortions. 79%. We're killing it. No pun intended. Okay, so since 1973, 19 million black babies have been aborted. So with some academics state that if we wouldn't have had abortions, because the black population is around 49 million, that if we wouldn't have had those abortions, that our current population would be 68 million. But that's false, right? I tell you what they're doing. They're adding 49 million, which is our current population, plus the 19 million of the babies lost. And then they'll say, well, we should have 68 million. That's false. Because what they're forgetting about is compounding. There's a compounding effect. So if a child was born in 1973, by this point, they would already be 52 years old. Most likely they'll be grandparents. Therefore, they would have kids. So if everybody is having about 2 to 3 children, and if their children are having 2 to 3 children, then they will be grandparents by now. So from that one baby that was terminated in 1973, we may already have 8, 9 people from that one lineage. So we just can't add the number of aborted babies and add the two. Okay, that's false. So an example, right? My great grandma, she was born in 1892. She lived 99 years. She died in 1991. She had 21 children. Okay, out of those 21 children, when she passed, right, that was 1991. By that point, she had already had 21 children, 71 grandchildren, 122 great-grandchildren, and then 24 great-great-grandchildren. That was just then. It's already been 30-something years since she's passed. Therefore, she already had a lineage of hundreds of people. Hundreds. Now, by this time, a lot of those great-great-grandchildren, they've already had babies. So just from that one person that was born in 1892, we've already had thousands, and it's only been about 120-something years. So that's the compounding effect. I believe that our population should be around double. So instead of it being 49 million, we should be around 98. Years ago, when I lived in Iceland, they had this law where if you were to run over someone's animal, right, some of their livestock, and that animal died, you didn't just pay for that animal. You had to pay for several generations, because that animal would have had other animals over time. So essentially, you would have been paying compensation for future generations, if that makes sense. And that's the same thing with ours. Okay. So the pro-choice group, this is a pro-choice group, right? Pro-choice survey called the Gutschmark Institute. They publish a widely accepted study indicating that 98.5% of all abortions were due to various reasons, including social economic factors and personal choice. So the overwhelmingly majority, 98.5% of all abortions, are due to personal choice. People say, oh, women should have choice. Well, they're making the wrong choice, because almost every abortion is due to personal choice, such as social economic factors. And remember, this is a pro-choice survey. Pro-choice. They also said that 1% are due to rapes, and then less than 0.6% are due to health concerns, and approximately 0.5% are due to incest. So almost all those are due to personal choice. But they bring up these wild cases to prick your hearts, right? To pull at your strings. But that's not the truth. And these numbers, by most case studies, are highly inflated. People say, no, these are several folds too high. But here, I'll go with the pro-choice. Okay? Let's just go with what they say. 98.5% of all pregnancies are due to, or no, all abortions are due to personal choice. Just to get into the Torah, right? God's word. Exodus 21:22 through 25. It shows two men fighting. They injure a woman when she has a baby. In that instance, they're to pay reparations to that woman's husband. But if that baby dies, God makes it clear that it's an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. He considers that person, that baby inside of you, to be life, not just a clump of cells. Okay, it's an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. When Elon goes to Mars, even if he defines some cells, he's going to say, we have life on Mars. So it's life on Mars, but it's not life here on Earth. You know, if I was to go out and murder a pregnant lady, I would be charged with double murder. Not just murder of her, but murder of the baby. So it's murder if she wants it, but it's not murder if she doesn't. Speaking of murder, right? I remember a few years ago, Planned Parenthood, which is the biggest abortion provider in the United States, killing off our black babies, they sent a message to John Legend and his wife, Chrissy Teigen. They suffered a miscarriage of their son, Jack. They had already named the baby and these people, they are very pro-choice, okay? And they sent the message, we're sorry for the loss of your son. That was what they said. We're sorry for the loss of your son. So even they recognize that this is life. They recognize that that fetus is life. Fetus, just the word for fetus means young child. Anyway, women have the most important role, the most important responsibility, and for some reason they don't want to take that seriously. You know, for some reason, the one thing that men can't do, it doesn't matter how hard that they try, the one thing that men can't do is produce life. And women take that for granted. Like, it blows my mind, you know. We talk about everything else, police. We talk about white crime against black people. But the most dangerous place for black life is in the mother of the womb. Once they get out of there, they have a successful path. They don't, nothing else even compares. I remember, right, this lady named Margaret Sanger. She hated black people. She hated black skin. She wanted to exterminate black people. And somehow, some way, she was able to convince black women that they should get rid of their kid. Isn't it crazy? She said because they were poor. Well, hey, let's just think about this, right? We've had black people who've been poor for generations. Just think of if we've taken that stance since slavery was abolished, right? 1865, since slavery was abolished, and if we were to exterminate babies because they were poor, we really wouldn't have any black people here. We would just been slaughtering because most people were poor. It's a terrible excuse. Absolutely terrible excuse. So I would say, like, a quick summary, right? The black population would be almost double what it is now, 98 million, if we wouldn't have enacted or permitted abortion. It is slaughtering black people. Absolutely slaughtering us. And here's the bad thing about it. We don't even see it. We don't even recognize. We don't even care. These stats don't mean anything to most people. Well, hopefully they mean something to you. Thank you.